her mother sends her away to live with her aunt after her father hits her for the first time. So Hal broke the rules. The daughter gets sent away. The daughter feels guilty, even as an adult, and knowing that she was the child in the situation. She felt guilty leaving her mother behind, not realizing that it was her mother's decision. Her mother chose her father ultimately over her daughter. So, I mean, if it was me, I'd be pretty ticked off. The relationship between the mother and daughter aren't great. The daughter hardly speaks to the father. It's just a few phone calls here and there, and very superficial, very shallow. But really, the daughter calls to check up on the mother because she knows that the father doesn't like the aunt calling the father doesn't like people coming over. He doesn't want the mother. So he really isolates her. And then she's even isolated more because of this house that just will not let go of them. It treats alcoholism, domestic abuse, and these issues in the light that it deserves, which is horror. Because being trapped in a relationship like that is horrific. Now, this book has graphic scenes and is very gory, but the tone of the book, even though it's a dark setting and the house is creepy, the tone is so light. You really get into the psychology of Margaret, where you see how women are really taught to downplay things, and we're really not taught self-preservation. It's really not about putting safety first. It's all about making people comfortable, following the rules, being a good girl. Okay, so it was an interesting book to read. I didn't read it right after, but I read it like 2 books later after reading It Ends With Us. And it's such a refreshing horror novel because, like I said, it's horror and it's gory, but the psychology and the backstory is so riveting. I really recommend that book. I also just finished this book called On Our Best Behavior, The 7 Deadly Sins and the Price Women Pay to Be Good by Elise Loehnen. I gave that book 4 stars. It took me a month to read. It's a slow read. It's very dense in its research and discussing how the 7 deadly sins came about, and that they're not actually in the Bible, and they're not even spiritual laws, and how it's really used to control society, but especially women, and keeping them in their place, because these 7 deadly sins they're not really there for men. It's more for women, and how we need to re-examine and re-look at the 7 deadly sins. It's a dense book. Like I said, it took me a month to get through. I gave it 4 stars. I wasn't really going to talk about this book right now, but it talks about how, women are trained for goodness and following rules. And that's really what the 7 deadly sins is about, being a good girl rather than being a spiritual person or following spiritual laws or anything like that. So it's an interesting read that kind of goes in with the theme of everything I've been reading lately, that we really need to learn to teach our daughters bodily autonomy, setting boundaries, saying no, not doing the emotional work or labor for other people, especially men, really minding your own business, live and let live. Why are we as a society, I really like this, Elise brings this up on Our Best Behavior, why are we so worried about other people's choices, especially when they don't affect us? Especially when it comes to women's bodily autonomy with politics. Why are church people so worried about other people's souls? Not everyone has the same beliefs. Not everyone has the same religious background. Not everyone is a Christian or monotheistic. I mean, there's Hindus and Jewish people and, other Jewish law permits bodily autonomy in women. I think in Islam they do as well. Enforcing Christian rule on people. And it's not even a Christian rule. It's, you know, because in early colonial times, women could terminate a pregnancy up until the quickening. And the quickening was when they could feel the baby kick. So this whole like trying to control women and women's bodies is a very new concept, and it feels very American, and it's very icky. Like, I know I keep saying icky a lot, but it's just really frustrating. It's like, when will women stand up and get mad enough and start demanding equality in health care and equality in our daily lives and equality? You know, we have equality pretty much in the workforce. I mean, there's still some things, but, you know, women are working, you know, and making money, like I said, and living their own lives and starting businesses and have their friends. But, you know, where is the healthcare, and where is the research? Where are women's rights? Like, it shouldn't be this hard to be seen as a human being, to be seen as a person rather than an object or a thing, or only there to serve one purpose. It's pretty sad. Anyway, this wraps up my portion of my book review. So, Honor Best Behavior, The 7 Deadly Sins and the Price Women Pay to Be Good, 4 stars. The September House, 5 stars. Trigger warning: gore, alcoholism, domestic abuse, child abuse. It Ends With Us. Trigger warnings is abuse, stalking, domestic abuse, rape, child abuse, and just really icky, unsexy, you know, things of love. All right, so I live in Roswell, New Mexico. We do not have any bookstores, which is super sad. But I went to, it's called Books Again, and it's the Roswell Library. You can donate your books there and make money for the library. So it was bag day. I don't know if y'all can see this. So we filled up this bag. I got a ton of movies and books for $5. So I've never heard of this. I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. I got Harvard Man, a thing of 4 movies of Alfred Hitchcock, which I've never heard of these. Jamaica Inn, Sabotage, The 39 Steps, and Easy Virtue. As well as Charade, which I've seen this one. This is also a movie by Alfred Hitchcock. I love Hitchcock films. We got Harlem Nights. I need to read this book, Never Let Me Go. I keep saying maybe I'll read it next, but I definitely need to read it now that we got the movie. And then Autumn in New York with Winona Ryder. I got Kabul Beauty School. And like, look at this. It looks like basically new. Like, it's in really good shape. White Heat, The Friendship of Emily Dickinson and Thomas Wentworth Higginson. I love Emily Dickinson. We went to see her house, her homestead in Massachusetts a couple years ago, and I just absolutely fell in love with her after watching the show Dickinson on Apple Plus. Freya. 3 Cups of Tea. Now, I may already have this book, but I picked it up because, again, like, look at how good of shape it's in. And I love this author. I love his book. So in case I don't have this copy, I picked it up. Talking about emotional intelligence, I got Emotional Intelligence 2.0, because we can all use a little bit more emotional intelligence in our lives. I got The White Tiger. It's paperback, but it's also, again, it's in decent shape. and contemporary watercolors. I got all of these books. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books and 6 DVDs for $5. So amazing deals. I have a lot of reading to do, which I already have a lot of reading to do, and lots of movies to watch. I like physical media because if you rely on streaming services, you may think you can watch it and then it's gone. Like you get halfway through a show and they pull it and they put it on another streaming service, or it's just gone. So, you know, once we read these or watch these, we'll probably just, you know, bring them back and let them sell it again to someone else. So it's kind of like, you know, having a free little library. I love it. Nikolai had we bought some other DVDs for him. It wasn't good, but like we can just bring it back, you know, and let them resell it, and hopefully someone else will enjoy it. But I hope you enjoyed my first video on this channel, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.